when it comes to that conversation, you're absolutely right. Holo does tend to go under the radar. And you know what? This might be part of the reason why, because why is there an Alpha on my screen?
That is not Banjo-Kazooie.
Why is there an Alpha?
That is not Banjo-Kazooie. What is that? I know he is a Pikmin fan. I've never seen him actually use the Alpha in a serious competitive set, and yet here we are. Losers side top 8, one of the biggest runs of the year for him, and he's bringing out the Alpha. There's got to be some rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, I mean, Olimar is one of those characters where, particularly in Europe, it's almost Europe's kryptonite. Like, we do not have, across the whole of Europe, an extremely, like, top-level Olimar player. And it's so difficult for a lot of people, because when you do end up, you know, the number of times people have gone over to America and they've seen they've got Myron in their bracket, and then suddenly all goes crashing down because we just don't have the experience. And even in the UK, we've got a couple of people that play Olimar, but we don't have any almost dedicated Olimar mains that are sort of putting in the top level. There is quality on the South Coast, of course, that has got the secondary, but even then, it's a secondary for some matchups. But Holo being like, you know what, maybe I will pick up the mantle. I will be the Olimar that everyone, well, some people ask for.
Yeah, Europe is definitely in dire need of an Olimar player. I do wonder what is there set history that I'm missing out on, like for him to not go Banjo. Is there something that he's got cooking? It's working out well. Maybe Azalea has not played an Alpha before, because as we're seeing, a lot of damage on Azalea's second stock, whereas Holo's, he's chilling. He's doing quite well. Got a purple on deck. Only needs one homie.
And also maybe because of the matchup, right? You think about Falco and you think about this idea of, you know, you've got that reflector where you can reflect the eggs and the egg grenade and all the rest of it. And particularly with, you know, we've seen in previous sets, Holo does like that quite defensive play style of letting the projectiles do a lot of the work. And I think maybe he's just not quite confident enough in the matchup to the point where SK, well, at least for game one, I'm going to go with this character. And honestly, we've been talking a lot about this questionable pick, but the only question here is, why hasn't he gone this sooner? Because honestly, he's doing extremely well at the moment.
He really is. That up throw nearly killed there, and the up smash scooping from so far away. That anti-air up smash is so strong in a matchup like this, where Falco loves to jump in to look for ways to get up tilts. If you can discourage that by up smashing, what does Azalea then do?
This is a really scary lineup of Pikmin as well. You've got the double purple and the red, not quite maybe what you want, but certainly that blue is going to be coming out any moment. And then you've got the two big damage dealers, and you've got the option of then going for the kill throw as well. And two purples with a bit of sus DI. You're going to die. They're so powerful, Focus. They're so powerful.
Azalea does not know this matchup. How did he die there? Good heavens, man. That's going to take some adjusting for the kid. But that was a dominant two-stock, man.
That's the thing, though, particularly with Olimar, is that there's so much that you've got to be looking out for. And even with the Pikmin lineup that you've got, there's only that, like, tiny, teeny, minuscule arrow to tell you which Pikmin's coming up first. So it's a lot to keep an eye on. And it's one of those where, like, not only are you focusing on the normal things of, you know, whereabouts are they spacing? What are their habits? What am I conditioning them with? And all the rest of it, like in an average Smash game. Then you've got this character where it's like, okay, well, in this position I'd go for this, but they don't have this color of Pikmin. And sometimes I don't even know what color, does Azalea know what the colors do? Also, like getting the Pikmin off you, depending on what part of the body you land on, depends on what move you've got to go for. So if it's on top of your head, like down airs aren't going to get rid of it. It's like a really unorthodox matchup. And that's the thing, it's like, you know, even there, Azalea...
That's 30% of tick damage.
Yeah.
He's at 6. How did Azalea spawn at 70? He's at 70.
That's the thing with the white Pikmin, though, is that if you don't know how much damage white Pikmin can do, you just think, oh, well, I'll take 2 or 3%. But that little so-and-so, I'm keeping it friendly, does 5% with every pummel. 5%. And that's the thing, that goes on whilst you're in neutral, still hits on your shield. You don't take the damage, but you got to let go of shield at some point. And now you've taken so much percent, and then you've also got to commit to getting it off you, and you got to know what move is going to get it off you. And then you got to recognize right there that the blue Pikmin is the throwing one.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you don't recognize it, and we're sat here watching, able to see Olimar all this time when you've got to fight this in tournament as well. It's such a difficult thing to keep an eye on.
This is incredible.
Oh my god, but what?
That was
any DI?
The least incredible DI.
Any DI? Please spare us some DI. We would love to see it.
Chamber knockback, man. Like the down smash from game 1 still shouldn't have killed. And that oh my god.
Yeah, and so that's another aspect of Olimar as well. That whistle having super armor for a few frames is such a good combo breaker. And of course, you know, we've got other characters that have got ridiculous combo breakers, but just being able to just be like, okay, no, actually, this is mine now. Yeah, and this is the thing as well. I think Azalea, a lot of their game plan is maybe the autopilot is, I'm going to jump in on Olimar. I'm going to jump on top of Olimar. And Olimar's up smash out of shield and up smash in general is disjointed. It combos into itself. It kills early. You can't. It's like trying to challenge Game & Watch up smash. Maybe not to the same extent, but it's like you can't just keep landing on Game & Watch. And it's the exact same with Olimar. You cannot land just like right there. Yeah. Azalea just about getting out of the way, and Hollow recognizing this habit that Azalea has been presenting to him each and every single time.
He's playing with fire as Azalea. He's very strong when it comes to getting reversals, setting up these sort of risky situations with high reward. But you can't, because Hollow is just consistently finding ways to deny any opportunity. He understands the risk of those jump-ins and punishes so well with that anti-air up smash.
It's so deadly, and you can see the look on Azalea's face right now. He is not happy. He's doing a little bit of soul surging here. This is a very, very difficult character, and it's one where, depending on your game plan, and I think that's where the failings of Azalea are beginning to show, is that the almost like set game plan that you've got when you don't quite know a matchup is just really not going well into Olimar specifically. Some characters you can, you know, recklessly jump in or safely jump in, safe pressure with aerials, try and get the grab, try and get the up tilt, but you can't do that against Olimar, and Hollow has done a real good job at picking up on it. I feel as if Azalea might need to slow the pace down just a little bit and allow Hollow to come to him instead.
Absolutely, because it feels like Hollow knows what Azalea's looking for. Azalea doesn't seem to know what Hollow's looking for here. It changes the dynamic. Like, Azalea's still not discouraged. He's still he's still like being very aggressive in his game plan, looking for ways to get into those awkward situations, looking for up tilts, looking for landing nairs. But it's a risky game because Alf's defense game and Hollow's defense game in particular has just been incredible so far in the set. I was doubting the pick before, but it's really putting in the work.
It really is, and I think again there's just these little moments of matchup unfamiliarity. One thing that I want to see Azalea do is like have that awareness to just get rid of the Pikmin. It feels like sometimes he's letting the Pikmin rack on like 10-20% damage, which isn't too much, don't get it twisted. But when it's happening 2-3 times a stock, it really does begin to add up. And the thing is, what I love about Hollow in response to that is that on the times where Azalea's doing it, Hollow is closing the space really, really well and is recognizing that if Azalea's going to get rid of a Pikmin, Azalea has to commit. They have to commit to some kind of move, and it may not be a move that they want to use, but Azalea slightly slowing down that pace, getting the patented to the wing and the leg, the up tilt to the back air, and finally got a lead for the first time in this set focus.
It's still interesting. He's not been discouraged. He's still looking for these risky options, these aggressive options, but he's also baiting the anti-airs from Hollow in an interesting way. Like, he looks like he's about to land on top of him with a nair or down air. Which encourages Hollow to just up smash, but he's drifting away at the very last second and then trying to find a whiff punish, finding ways to set up pressure in ways which Hollow's not really able to deal with. I say that, even stocks, and suddenly Azalea, 67% already down just because of the absurd damage output that the Pikmin provide.
Another aspect of gameplay that I've kind of only just clocked that's going to really mess with Azalea, we mentioned it a little bit earlier on, but the whistle. Right, the whistle in particular, when Azalea is going for these strings that are maybe not quite true by, say, 2 or 3 frames, Hollow is going to be able to get out of that and reversal quickly. There is next to no lag on the whistle. And so Azalea is going to have to really, on the fly, whilst 2 games down, he's going to have to evaluate his combo route, but honestly, he might not get the chance here. He's on his last stock in the tournament focus.
We could see a 3-0 at the hands of the Hollow Alf here, Joycey. It's really incredible to see. He's playing the close quarter situation so well, and for once, Azalea's looking a little bit lost for words. Not able to get the stock as well. Just because how small Alf is, it's so hard for Azalea to actually hit him with the Falco. Like, maybe you want to throw in down tilts more, throw it in. Like, throwing in side Bs is the only thing that's going to hit the grounded Alf, but it's so risky. He's putting himself in such an awkward situation. Finds the up throw, finds the up air. No whistle coming out in time to save. Not able to save Hollow's Bacon. This is an opportunity for Azalea to start the reverse 3-0, but it's only if he can hold this momentum.
And we're seeing it there, going for that down air to just get the Pikmin off, but then getting punished for it. But we are seeing here Azalea with a chance on life, a 70% combo there. Really, really what he needed to get back into this game, and is mere moments away from being able to finally get a point on the board here. It has been the Azalea show the entirety of this last stock here, but Hollow managing to slow the pace down just a little bit, but Azalea speeding it straight back up. Are we going to see a Game 3 focus?
The untechable back air is going to force the Game 4. Finally, Azalea is getting himself on the board, and it's something I was looking for. For the first time, I'm seeing a proper edge guard from Azalea. This is finally some adaptations in the matchup which were lacking in those last 2 games, and honestly, the first 2 stocks of that game as well. It's taken a while, but I think this might be Azalea's time to bring himself back into the set.
And this is not unfamiliar territory for Azalea. He had to do this against Gaia to get to this point. Doing reverse 3-0s is something that Azalea has had to do time and time again. And the thing is that Hollow has got 2 more games to make adaptations of his own. And if things do get really dire and brings it to a Game 5, the Banjo is in the back pocket. You can bring the main out if you wish to, but sticking it out so far, I do agree with the pick. I do think, on the whole, Alpha's been doing a lot better than maybe Banjo would have. But in the same vein, it's still an option that Hollow has got, and an option that Azalea has got to be careful of. Because if you can just seal one game because they take a little bit to adjust, Hollow's going to be laughing all the way into the loser's quarters.
Exactly, man. It's scary. I think Azalea has definitely he's been getting a lot more mileage when he does get the hits in. The neutral interaction is still staying the same. It's still him trying to bait anti-airs, trying to find a way in to get the up tilts. But he's now actually getting the damage where it matters. Down tilt dash attack's an interesting extension, and it's one that won't risk getting whistled through. It's these just like very small adaptations in your combo routes which get the most damage that you can, get himself into a playable position.
Oh my goodness, wow. And just about maybe just delaying the back air a little bit there. Hollow pulling the whistle a little bit too early and eating a back air and a really, really early stock, all things considered as well. Sub 100%. Disgusting plays from Azalea.
It's what's needed. These down airs have been getting him a lot of mileage. Not it's still fairly safe, and it's going to be one of those few moves which does hit a grounded Alf, because Hollow has been playing very well on the ground, not even trying to jump unnecessarily. Because when you do risk getting air-to-air by that Falco forward air. Now, little trigger happy I'm seeing from Hollow, trying to catch Azalea in these spaces with smash attacks, not really hitting the spot.
However, this is an absolutely terrifying lineup of Pikmin just staring Azalea in the eye, because you've obviously got to respect both of those purple Pikmin, but at the same time, you're shielding too long, and that blue one is going to send you sky high. And I think Azalea has just got to be really, really careful here. Lovely little trade. Nobody getting too much off of that situation, and I like the fact that Azalea is now just respecting the up smash, and we saw it there. Hollow going for quite an optimistic grab, and Azalea picking up on it straight away, jumping over, meeting him back there with a back air, and even with that forward smash, Azalea is still up 2 stocks to 1 and look poised to take this to a Game 5.
Azalea is finally getting ahead in this dynamic of like baiting out anti-airs. You're seeing a Hollow doing a very, that's game, no, not game, but Hollow's sort of desperately trying to grab a landing. Because Azalea, he's just expecting the drift back from Azalea. Instead, Azalea drifting forward, avoiding that and getting the stock for it. It's making Hollow doubt his anti-airs, doubting his up smashes, doubting his F smashes. Did you not die here? No. They're sending the wrong way.
Why? And just throwing off 2 of those Pikmin, I'm not sure I agree with that. Just throwing away the white and the blue, they're 2 of the best Pikmin to have, particularly that blue one. It does allow that grab mix-up to happen, and it feels like Hollow has almost turned up the aggression here. It feels as if Azalea has been exerting this horrendous pressure that Hollow has really struggled to get around, and now it feels almost as if Hollow has refound his footing a little bit and is like, you know what, I've got this aggression as well, and I've got a lot of lagless moves that I can use, and Azalea, a tiny, tiny hint of desperation, is going to be met with a back air, and now Hollow's got a bit of a chance to seal it out right here.
Absolutely, very scary stuff for Hollow, though. He is at kill percent, but you can't count him out when he's got a purple, yellow, red. What can he do with it? Looking for a way to find an up smash. The side B tosses aren't going to be denied by the reflector. Not even going to get any tick damage. This is the first time the Phantasm has been punished. We're not getting enough. The down tilt's not going to take the stock immediately, but it's very scary for Hollow. Able to punish the forward air. A lot of damage is coming out here, but the Nair down tilt's not going to connect. Azalea looking very desperate here. He cannot afford to give this away. He will lose here. The double purple is out. The blue is out. This is so scary, but the back air is going to take us to a game 5. Azalea holding his nerve here.
Incredible from Azalea, and I really love the fact there's a moment I really want to pinpoint there, and it was the first time in that moment in that last stock situation where the moment the white Pikmin was on Azalea, the up air came out immediately. Get rid of that, because if you even just let it sit for a second, you're taking an extra 10-15%, and when those double purples are on deck, that can be the very, very thin line between life and death. And this is going to be one hell of a game 5, and we wonder if it's Hollow going to stick it out. Yes, we're seeing the Olimar, the Alf being stuck out with. It did feel like Hollow began to really run with it in those sort of second and third stocks. We saw the aggression coming back out. I want to really point out that Hollow is doing a really good job at adjusting to Azalea's forward airs. We're seeing a lot of these forward airs because, one, the multi-hits are such a good tool in terms of dealing with the Pikmin. It kills them on hit. Second of all, because of the extension of the hitbox as well, it can really throw off the timing of when you release shield, because you might get hit by that last hit a little bit later than you're expecting. So Hollow is just about beginning to adapt to that, and it's going to be up to Azalea if they need to adjust, and if so, how they're going to do it.
He was stuck in clank lag from hitting the Pikmin for so long. Hollow was able to roll in, get a hit in, and get a lot of damage, but Azalea's going to fire back up. These up airs are very ambitious. They are working out for him. Able to, like, knowing that Hollow's not even going to try to whistle through, which you'd think would allow him out of this struggle situation. Another punish on the Phantasm. This is it's something that Azalea has been relying on a lot to catch Hollow unawares in a burst range. But once it's shielded, you get a free up smash, free stock, it feels like. So Azalea has to be very careful here.
We're already seeing these little moments from Azalea where instead of carrying on forward with the short forward airs, he's beginning to drift back with them. And Hollow is throwing out these grabs and these options to just try and catch Azalea going for these aggressive options. And the Phantasm, again, like you said, this is a habit that Hollow has finally picked up on and is getting Meteor, and Meteor punishes every single time. Azalea has got to tighten the screws a little bit, and he's got to do it fast.
It's so scary, though. Like, Azalea kind of has to rely on these risky options. It feels like that's been a core part of his game. If he just gets the right option, the reward is so strong. But even when you do get the right option, you're not getting the stock with the up tilt back air, just failing to connect. Finds the side B, another risky option, but doesn't get the stock again. It's really stressful for Azalea in this situation, but a perfectly safe punish there. Getting the down tilt, walk back, turn around, get the roll in. Maybe you don't need to be so aggressive. You do things like that. Just catch the panic, standing at roll distance, catching the panic options from Hollow. That's allowing Azalea back onto an even footing with Hollow here. But there's a purple and a white Pikmin tacked on. Needs to be get off. It's gone already. But purple-blue, very scary stuff for Azalea here.
Yeah, and the blue Pikmin just sticking to Azalea. Not the most detrimental thing in the world. There isn't too much damage from the blue, and it does stop that. But again, this really, really deadly lineup of the double purple and blue is such a deadly thing, because particularly 105%, you're dying to any area, you're dying to any smash attack. The back air at 105, and Azalea once again finds them on their tournament life.
The parry up on the up tilt, leading to up smash, so much damage that it's snowballing in Hollow's favor. Can he ride this momentum to take this game 5, deny the reverse 3-0, the down tilt, the forward air, the S smash? It's gonna hit. Hollow takes this. Game 5 moves on into losers quarters.
And the immediate hug, the pop-off as well, did such a good job. A valiantly fought set between these two, but Hollow continues the fairy tale run. Azalea cracking top 8, a truly incredible day for Azalea, but unfortunately his run will end at 7th place, and now there are only 6 people left in this tournament, Focus.
It's been an incredible ride so far. Azalea did very well to get here, but Hollow adapted so well in the Game 5, and he just truly rode that momentum on that final stock. Essentially a 0 to death, catching the recovery of the down smash. So well played from the kid, and he's moving on to 5th place. People did not expect him to be in this position.